and to do things on their own and for their own families, that's when we're at our very best. Is when we get government out of the way and let the people actually do what they do best.
That's right. That's right.
And we have a president who actually understands that and is the most stark contrast I think I've ever seen in a campaign is Donald Trump against any of the Democrats. Even their best candidate would be the worst case scenario for America. And I think that it is so incredibly important that all of you are here. I know it feels like all of the, I guess, Iowa caucus excitement is on the Democrat side because they've got such a hot contest of who's going to win. But it is so important for us to have this first showing for the president. It's a great sign of strength for his campaign, and you guys are a part of that, and you're a part of history. And it's such a special responsibility that I know Iowans love and protect and fight for every 4 years to make sure they get to be first. And I think that it is such a great clearinghouse because you spend a lot of time really getting to know candidates. You have them in your homes, oftentimes more than once, and you really know who these people are. And the fact that you'll be the first ones to go out and remind America that we're better off under this president is so important. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your steadfast support of this president. And make sure we continue working the phones. We don't want to take anything for granted. And we want to make sure that all of America knows that Iowa stands behind this president and America stands behind this president because we want to continue on 4 more years of prosperity under Donald Trump. So thank you so much. It's such an honor and exciting day to be back in Iowa. And again, I don't want to take too long because I want you to get back to work.
We want you to take
there's one thing I want to leave you with that I think demonstrates, and it's probably one of the most memorable moments that I have working for the president, but I think it demonstrates who he is and why we want him to be our president. I had the privilege of traveling with him almost 1 year ago today. It was Christmas of 2018. And the president made a secret trip to Iraq to visit our troops. And they didn't know he was coming. And we landed in the pitch black darkness. And they had all gathered in the dining hall. And there were hundreds of troops that had gathered to greet who they thought were going to be senior military officials to have dinner and celebrate Christmas. Much to their surprise, the president and the first lady walked in. And the troops went absolutely crazy. It was one of the most electric and incredible sounds. I've been to I don't know how many Trump rallies, and the excitement and the enthusiasm is something I've never seen before. But this was different. This was some of the people who are putting their lives on the line, sacrificing everything, spending their time away from their families on Christmas, and they couldn't have been more excited than they were when their commander-in-chief walked into that room. And to see that and feel the support and the connection that the president had with the men and women of our military was truly incredible. And as he stepped in, one of the soldiers yelled out, "Mr. President, I re-enlisted and came back because of you." And the president turned to him and he said, "And I'm here because of you." And it was this really just moving moment to see how committed our president is to the safety and security of this country. And as he and the first lady, they continued and they went around to each of the different tables and were shaking hands, that soldier came over and he thanked me for my service. And I said, I kind of laughed and politely corrected him. And I said, "Sir, what I do is nothing compared to the work that you and the people here in this room do every day."
That's right.
And he reached up and he tore the patch off of his arm. He placed it in my hand and said, "Sarah, we're in this together." And
Wow.
I hugged him, probably held on a little longer than I should have. I was speechless. And I just hugged him and thanked him. But it was one of the most remarkable moments and something that I'll forever be grateful for because it was such a reminder of what America is all about and
Right.
why it is so special and why we have to do everything within our power to protect it, to fight for it. And that's why it's so important that we make sure that we have a president who understands that and who's committed to sharing that same goal with us and will fight with us. He's not just fighting the Democrats, he's fighting for every single person in this room and every single person across this country because he actually loves the country. And that's such a difference of what we're seeing from the Democrats right now. And it's why it's so important that you're here. So thank you so much. Thank you for being so committed to the president and to the country. And let's go out and make sure we have a huge win this week and again in November. So thank you guys so much for being here.